In a game marked with a history and tradition of players and positions, the Cincinnati Reds have a Swiss Army knife with one player in multiple roles. Michael Lorenzen is baseball's rare major league two-way talent. The middle reliever doubles as a closer, but is even more uniquely used as a late-inning center fielder and slugging pinch hitter, bringing power from both his bat and arm.
Michael, how would the opponent's scouting report describe your pitching?
All of his pitches are pretty hard, mid to upper 90s, and he's gonna try and challenge you with everything. So just be ready to hit a strike.
Michael's dexterity helps him handle a water glass, much like his flexibility helps his on-field transitions.
So as a two-way player, how does the pitching help you as a hitter?
Yeah, that's a good question. In college, it was funny because the pitching came easy, but the hitting, I was in the cage for hours on end. And it was always so complicated. But now it's flipped because now pitching is the thing that I do, and hitting is just kind of a bonus to where hitting has become so simple and pitching has become complicated. So I've become a better hitter because of it. Now I need to simplify my pitching. That's when I'm better, is when I make it simple.
You would think that versatility would help any team, but you're also breaking baseball tradition. That's rare to see. Have you found that there's the pushback from formality of the game?
Yeah, when I was first drafted, I remember Eric Davis, Cincinnati Reds great, and I told him I want to be a two-way player. And he said, if you think you can do it, don't give up on it, but I don't think it's possible. And so I've always had that pushback for sure from everyone, and I just didn't understand how that's inherent almost in every athlete to think that we can overcome anything. It just never sat well with me. You know, it's not possible.
You're constantly on standby for 9 innings in a number of roles.
Yeah.
How do you stay engaged?
Being a position player my whole life and in college, so I'm used to playing 9 innings every day. Just being a reliever and getting 3-6 outs a game is different for me than, you know, being ready to play all 9 innings. So it's actually been beneficial for my mind and staying in tune with the game.
Do you razz your teammates at all if you're the guy putting in OT and they're not?
No, you know, but I always let them know that because I go into center field late in the game, it's going to be their fly balls that I'm catching. So.
What kind of expectation from Cincinnati because of the history and success of the Cincinnati Reds?
You know, we hear stories all the time about the Big Red Machine, you know, best team and it really assembled in baseball. So we do have some high standards here, and I love this city. Everyone is a Cincinnati Reds fan.
You had to adapt and you had to overcome, and as a two-way player, you're doing that now. But that also reflects childhood for you growing up.
Ups and downs. You know, I grew up in a broken family, but just didn't have any guidance. I didn't grow up with God in my life. It started to change as I was in high school. I was 16 years old, and you know, high on a pier, and some guy was sharing about Jesus Christ. And it was the first time where I was convicted and confronted, you know, my sin. And it was just God had opened my heart and opened my mind to understand his words.
Hey, Michael, does it give you some wonder in the fact he would take a random person to pull that out of your life? Does that make it feel like he's intentionally pursuing you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that is extremely humbling, and it's something that makes you want to go out and tell everyone else about. And that's where this game comes in, is I get to use it as a platform to share that message.
How do you seize the moment now and maximize it?
Really just knowing that only now matters. Growing, whether it's as a baseball player, as a believer in Christ, as a husband, how can I get better? I think it gives us that fuel to go through each and every day of, we have a goal. And so I think that's how I'm able to live in the now.
How has Jesus Christ become proven to help you bridge through and navigate circumstances that are overwhelming?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I always go back to the verse, Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. All things means all things, not just the good things. And when you have faith to rejoice in trials because it produces patience and perseverance, there's nothing that can really hinder what you're doing. There really isn't. And so you're able to move forward with a smile and with joy.